Hi everybody, Dacob here. Welcome back to the Fashion Bunker. I am feeling very floaty. See, I have my space gear on. I'm ready to go to the moon and beyond. Um, been back to my Chanel boutique. My shopping ban has been lifted. So, just out of curiosity, while I was still hunting down brooches that I'm still looking forward to kind of getting, I asked my sales associate, hey, listen, there's been a couple of pieces from this fall winter 17-18 space travel uh, odyssey. Well, not really odyssey. You could call it space age as well. Very 60s reminiscent collection. There's been a couple of pieces that I find very fascinating, and I would like to see because on photos it appears to me that they are built in a certain way, and I would just like to touch them and to see them. And it was something that I touched, I saw, I purchased. Vini Vidi Vici. Anyway, so I was like, okay, so, well, I'll tell you the story after I unbox this because otherwise you're going to know what it is. And then, the whole procedure, this is super fascinating. Now, I've been out and about the whole day and I am tired, tired, but I'm super excited to open this. Look at all that tissue paper. The Chanel tissue paper. I don't even know. Wait, sorry. I can't see because if I look, then it probably won't focus. But like this, it focuses. The bag. The face. Looking inside the bag. Ooh. And a tissue paper. I'm loving this tissue paper. I actually use all of this Chanel tissue paper to wrap my costume jewelry in it later on to protect it better. Look how big this thing is. Any guesses what it might be? It's a big box. It's a very big box, actually. Surprisingly big. Unexpectedly big, almost. Get it out of here so you could see even more. I don't know. I hooked the chameleon on it. Okay. Where's the Chanel logo? There it is. Look how big it is. What could it be? I mean, it's too small to be shoes. It could be a leather good. Some sort of accessory. What could be in a box this big? I don't know if anybody guessed because it came unexpected to me too. So anyway, let's take the camellia off. Should I put it somewhere? Here. I hope it doesn't damage my sparkly sweat. Well, it's not sparkly. It's actually silver. Metallic. Okay. ASMR. Chanel ribbon. That's how it feels. It's cottony. It's a good consistency. Unboxing Chanel really relaxes me. It's not that thick of a carton or cardboard. Okay. Okay, when I take the lid off, okay, now then it's going to become more obvious. Or will it? This is super fascinating. Let me put this here. What could this be? I guess at this point a lot have already guessed. Let's take it out. I actually asked them if I could wrap it with the extra pieces that they gave me. But anyway, this is the little Chanel pouch. And this is not what I purchased. I didn't purchase this pouch. It actually comes in this, let's see, Chanel pouch with the quilting at the bottom, fluffy, soft for space travel. You open it like that. And there's white in there because I asked them to give me, those microfiber kind of square rectangular cut kind of glovey things that you could put for leather bags, but they actually gave me two of them because I wanted to protect two things on this product. my God, I'm such a tease. I'm annoying myself from how much of a tease I am. I can imagine how annoyed you must be now. Sorry, I'm just enjoying the unboxing because I know that once I've unboxed it, it's unboxed forever. I can never unbox it again. So it's super exciting territory for me too. Look, so they gave me all of these extra bits and bobs to protect something. This thing has a Made in Italy inscription right at the top there. It's so fluffy and soft, like a pillow. And so they gave me these microfiber gloves to protect this. Okay, so sunglasses. We got it. We got the message. Wait, actually, let me touch them all. They're so fragile. Okay, so we have, I mean, they look, you know, they're the runway piece from the fashion show, Fall Winter 17-18. But what's so special about them? Okay, first of all, just out of curiosity, while we were looking for the brooches, I was asking my sales associate, listen, you know, there's this pair of sunglasses from the runway. I've never seen them in a boutique. Were they even produced? Like, could you check in the system? And my essay was like, oh, this model. No, I don't think. Let me check. So the essay checks. And to the essay's surprise, they had one in stock. But they totally forgot about them. Literally. Like they were packed somewhere and nobody remembered really. So we went on a hunt for these glasses. It took a couple of minutes. Found them finally. Together with another couple of different models, also runway models from the fashion show, all put aside. And so then, upon questioning other colleagues of theirs, they figured out that they were put aside because a couple of customers, apparently, with a lot of money, from a particular country, the country will not be named, complained how ugly these glasses were. And so they were kind of put aside as like, oh, okay, maybe it's something that shouldn't be really presented. Really fascinating concept. I didn't know that Chanel was so afraid of, you know, opinions of other people and how quickly they react, you know, when money talks. Businesses listen. But I love them. They are ugly in a certain way, but I love them for several reasons. Technical reasons, you know me. First of all, space age and space travel. They are a little bit douchebaggy in their shape. And they are for my sunglass archive, and you know I have a big one. What really fascinates me about them is that the lenses are on the temples. And now we're gonna, so I'm gonna, maybe I can try to actually swivel. I have a microphone down here. I'm gonna try to swivel the microphone. Bear with me, guys. I'm sorry if the sound sounds a bit wonky now. Okay, look. You see, the temples are translucent because this is a metal frame, and the metal frame holds the temple lens. So they are completely translucent all the way around. Sorry, they're reflecting everything right now. Okay, let me find an angle for you to see. So you could see me underneath there. And you could see me through the temples as well. That is something I've never seen in other sunglasses before. They are quite big, but I have a big face. So for me, they're not really made for me, actually. Well, I mean, technically, yeah, but it's not something that I would wear. This is definitely an archive piece for me, for my standards. It's just so beautifully made, very, very complicated to produce them. They're like highly chromed and polished. Now they have all my makeup on them. I have to clean them again. But what you have to understand is the construction. It's really hard to do this. So it's a very experimental piece. And then, of course, they had to add those logos. So what they did is they had to laser cut into the lens here, or into this kind of plastic, in order to put this metal logo in there. They laser cut the shape of the double C. They also cut the actual little metallic foil, and then they position it inside of the, I call it lens, even though it's not on the eye. It's not really a lens at this point. You have to call it temple. Very complicated. Nose pads. The Chanel logos are also in here with all of their product numbers. And Chanel with Luxottica went that extra mile to create kind of the full experience of space travel, or just the concept of space age space travel, by adding this additional pouch that was made especially for these glasses in particular, reminiscent of the Cocoon bag collection by Chanel, made the beginning of the 2000s, more or less, also kind of reminiscent of the future and space travel. And so it's super, super soft. It's a nylon-y material, very kind of futuristic, if you want. For, I don't know, if you think about it, in another 50 years, maybe the concept of space and travel is going to be very different from what it is today. But this is, again, reminiscent of how it was seen in the past. Space travel as conceived during the space age in the 60s, while Coco Chanel was still alive, transported it to 2018. Very fascinating concept. Sunglasses like these would not have been possible to construct the way that they have been constructed now, back in the 60s. So we have technology of today with an idea from the past. Chanel does not often allow, in general, their designers to kind of experiment in new directions like this. But when this happens, I'm all for it. And I understand that these glasses are not, they're complex, they're complicated, you know, but I really welcome with an open heart this sort of experimentation. And when this sort of experimentation happens, that's when I am a little bit less picky with imperfections. Now, with imperfections, mind you, I don't mean, oh, there's a scratch in the glasses. If there were, I would not have purchased them. But what I want to say is it's an experiment. In order to progress in the future with design and create pieces that are more and more challenging and more avant-garde, you have to take risks. And by taking risks, I mean, for example, how does the combination of the temple that is bent, you see it's not straight, it's bent, it's kind of anatomic to the face, to bend the metal and to have the lens material inside bent the same way so that it can fit within the frame and stay there when you keep closing and opening the glasses, spreading them out more to kind of put them on and take them off. You know, how will the plastic react as opposed to the metal frame when you keep bending it? Will the plastic bit inside, you know, will it kind of, with time, if you keep using it and bending it, will it tend to fall out of its framework, the metal framework, or not? These are things that I accept when I see a piece that is so avant-garde in a certain way, that is so, you know, experimental. Because this is the sort of challenges that I want to see a brand like Chanel do. I want them to push it forward, you know, to push the envelope further when it comes to this sort of experimentation. And this is where I think the money, the hard-earned cash that we're giving them, that's where the money should be implemented into pushing innovation in that respect. And I know that a lot of the money that we give them by purchasing these pieces goes into advertising campaigns. They spend a lot of money. I'm so sorry, my microphone was all the way. The sound wasn't the best until now, but now the mic is back. I know that a lot of the money goes into creating the fashion shows, that goes into creating the whole advertisement campaigns, you know, those huge fashion shows that Chanel makes, nobody else makes nowadays anymore. But don't forget one thing. Maybe sometimes a tiny percentage of all that money that we give them goes also into innovation. And when that happens, I welcome it open-heartedly. And I thought to myself, geez, you know, if I hadn't specifically asked for this model, it would have remained somewhere in some, you know, shelf shut down, you know, for a year or two. And then unless somebody had asked for it, and then they would have, you know, after 2 years, they send old stuff back to the headquarters. And yes, things that don't get sold within a certain amount of time, they do get destroyed, you know. So it's because they want to keep the collectability, the covetability of their pieces up there and high. And it's terrible in terms of, you know, waste, creating so much waste. And I don't want certain pieces also to get lost and to go lost and forgotten. So I think it's great to be able to share something like this with you. Now, whether or not this shape is a little bit douchebaggy-ish because it's all kind of aerodynamic and, you know, fits to anatomically fits to the face, and it's just they're all like very in your face and flashy. But if I were to envision them in space as a future of Chanel, in some sort of past future, you know what I mean? Like 60s vision of the future, I would say this is a really intelligently made piece. But that's just my 5 cents on the topic because, you know, I have this kind of particular vision of how I like things to be or look, and when I think they work and when I think that they don't work. For you, it might not work. And in fact, it was so funny. My essay knows me and was like, okay, I'm not going to say that they fit you or that they don't fit you because you're not going to believe me anyway. I know you're going to say that they don't fit you. And in fact, when I saw them on me, I was like, okay, this is not me. I'm not the type of person that goes with these like, you know, all out. I usually wear black sunglasses, usually more or less the same model when I'm out and about, even though I have a lot of flashy sunglasses in my collection. Uh, but this one, size wise, it's huge. On me, it's okay because I have a big head. But if somebody had a small face, it would be amazing to see like the mask effect of them. But it's not something that I would like feel very comfortable with on the street because it attracts too much, and I would suspect in the wrong way. Although the double C's are very small on these, so it's not like all about the logo and the branding, which is good. But nevertheless, I wouldn't want them to be too um, similar to something you would wear when you go to ski, like a ski, you know, because I know that the effect that they wanted to create was of space travel in the future, but they do have something kind of ski masky-ish about them, but they're like all metal and they don't have anything to hold tight onto your face. So if you would ski with them, they would fly off immediately. These are not sunglasses made for skiing. Like, don't be fooled by that. They're not. There's nothing about them would protect you if you would fall, and nothing about them would stand your face if you were to move too fast and the wind were too high and you're just kind of like rushing down that mountain and down the snow. Um, I would have made certain things differently. You know, I would have made them a bit less round, a bit more flat, a bit more 80s. Like this whole roundness here, I would have made it completely flat. Maybe just slightly rounded, but not too much. And the top here, I would also have made it straight. They are a little bit curved. I get what they were going for. And mind you, it works. They're much more beautiful live than on photo because I did go on the Chanel website, obviously, and I saw them there. The American website in particular also has an online shop for sunglasses where you could check these out and see them there, photographed in a very, very neutral way. And mind you, they're slightly different. The photos of the prototypes taken on the website have the double C's intertwining, so you could see one C cutting into the other. That's not actually, they simplified them and made them much more beautiful in real life because the double C's are completely flat in the final production version. And the photos on the website just don't do them justice. Because you get kind of a vibe and a feeling that they're semi-translucent, but you're not really sure about it. And the lights that they use, the kind of the neutral lights, flatten them out quite a bit. They are, as opposed to how they are photographed on the Chanel website, in real life, they're much more dynamic. They have much more of a three-dimensional presence. They're very flat on the photos that Chanel uses. And I think that's also something Chanel should consider. Maybe they should consider photographing their sunglasses on their online website, on their shop, on their online shop website of the sunglasses, whatever. Less clinical. I think that's the word. The way that these products are depicted, you know, every pair of shades, same angles, you know, typical angle of dung, 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 side, top, whatever. And then less clinical, more organic, you know, slight variations and differences in shading from glass to glass. I know they want everything to be homogenic, everything to look this, you know, to have a kind of one structure go flowing through the entire online shop, but just looking at them online, I would have never wanted to purchase these, honestly. out of curiosity, because I noticed this translucency of the temples. I wasn't sure if that was the case. I was like, can I, that's why I asked in the boutique, can I see them so that I could kind of test how is it in real life? And only after we found them and only after I had them in my hands was I immediately convinced. And I was like, wow, okay, this is something I really want to have. But seeing them just on photos does not make me want to have them at all. And also the model that wore them on the runway, on the fall winter 17 Chanel runway, because Chanel also has a small capsule part of the collection is dedicated to men. So I always forget his name. American model. Before Jabiconi became Lagerfeld's, boy, favorite model. The other guy, blonde, curly hair, American model. He's a bit older now, but still, they styled these on him. So he's walking down the runway with this kind of curly, wavy hair, very decadent, wearing mostly white, very clean, almost, aristocratic in a way. And it just reeked of money, but not too much of taste. So that put me off as well. So I had to really be confronted with them materially in real life in order to fall in love with them. Because all of the other signs that Chanel was giving me, from their runway look to the online shop website, they just didn't sell them to me properly. So I think something with the marketing could be done better. But anyway, here I am blabbering and I ended up buying them. So, that's that. All right, guys, I hope you liked this video. Sorry if the sound was messed up at a certain point. In case it was, but whatever. We shall live to see and film another day. Thumb up this video if you liked it. Let me know if you purchased any new sunglasses lately, and what sort of shapes and sizes and colors in particular. Actually, I want to know from you what colors and what materials you like the most. Because I usually don't go for metal. Usually I go for acetates. But anyway, that's just me. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel here on YouTube. I'm also on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, Snapchat, what have you. So no matter how the marketing is, and no matter what we think we perceive from an image, and then we find out that it's something totally different in real life, we might get upset about it. We might also not get upset about it. No matter how big the chaos and the drama around us is, we never give up on love. Love you guys. See you soon. Take care. Bye.